My name is Marek Suchocki. I work for Autodesk. I'm currently in the role of Head of Industry Association Strategy, which is looking after Autodesk's relationship with associations such as ACEC, professional institutions, Institution of Civil Engineers, American Society of Civil Engineers, Royal Institute of British Architects, American Institute of Architecture, and so forth, as well as national and international standards bodies. I am a chartered fellow of the Institution of Civil Engineers and spent 15 years of my career in industry working in consulting, contracting, and academic research. And the last 15 years at Autodesk, mostly focused on business development, and as I just said, now focused around our relationship with industry associations. So what does digital transformation mean to me? Well, I mentioned that I've been in industry for over 30 years now, and quite early on in my career, I got a role at the University of Reading in the UK, working in construction management and engineering department there. And halfway through that research post, I joined a brand new team called Advanced Construction Technology, which was investigating the use of software, particularly from the aerospace and automotive sector, and its applicability to construction industry. So way back then, I was already looking at what could digital offer to us in the engineering and construction sector. And I carried that through in my career, always trying to drive research and innovation. I actually was Atkins Research and Innovation Manager for the best part of 8 years, and tried to encourage the adoption of new digital workflows to my colleagues, but always trying it out. So never kind of jumping to the far end of technology, but seeing what might work, what could be palatable, what didn't introduce additional risk. So for me, digital transformation is making the delivery of work more productive, reducing risks, and hopefully also becoming attractive to existing employees and new entrants as well. You know, we want to get new people into our industry, and I really do see digital as a lever to do that. Reducing wasted effort, delivering better outcomes for the teams using the software, but ultimately also the customer and the clients. And, you know, we're all clients as taxpayers. You know, we pay money to get our roads improved, to have schools built, hospitals constructed. And so if we can do that at hopefully a lower cost, ideally a little bit faster, but to a better quality, then that to me is the real opportunity that digital presents. So in my role within Autodesk, and even prior to that, I've been on the British Standards Technical Committee that wrote a series of standards around BIM, building information modeling, that have become ISO 19650. So they've become internationally adopted as good practice in delivering building and engineering projects. And the good practices are just that. If we can be consistent in how we deliver stuff, we can all talk hopefully a vaguely common language, then the result is better solutions, but also attracting more people back in. I mentioned this at the beginning, that to me, it's quite hard to keep people in our industry because it's often perceived to be, I regret, male dominated, potentially adversarial, whereas digital makes it hopefully a little bit sexy, makes it a bit fun, and means people want to stay. You know, this becomes a career of first choice rather than perhaps last choice. Unfortunately, quite often we try to do everything in one go, and it all starts to unravel. So I definitely, when I speak to customers or colleagues, I say, look at what are the most painful points in your work today. What could be most valuable to improve, and start with that. Because if there's something that you repeatedly make mistakes in, that causes additional costs, upsets your clients, then tackle that, find digital workflows and solutions that will address that. Perhaps you need to train your people, perhaps you need to hire new people to achieve that. But the net effect will be you'll do something better. Ideally, you'll retain customers and partner companies will want to work with you, and then you can move on to the next thing. Do a little bit of a reconnoiter. Look at the landscape. What's out there within your sector? Look at what maybe competitors are doing. Talk to companies like Autodesk. Speak to the experts, because there's no point kind of doing all the work yourself when there are people out there who can definitely help. And pick the pieces that will give you the greatest benefit. As I mentioned, find the areas of biggest pain points, and that you may not be able to resolve them. That could be because they are just difficult, but definitely identify what's out there that will be suitable for your type of services. And one other thing, and I think possibly this is the magic piece that you need to look at, is to persuade your clients. So whether you're a subcontractor working for a larger engineering consultancy, or you're a big engineering consultant working for a US DOT, speak to the client. See if they understand the opportunities. Because if you can persuade them that we're going to be on a journey together, they'll be also willing to bend and flex, and they're going to get the ultimate benefit. What's tech in the industry doing? I mean, we're in a very exciting time at the moment. We're seeing significant change in the landscape of digital technologies, both within the engineering construction sector and further afield, even in our own lives. We see the emergence of AI, natural language engines like ChatGPT and so forth. So everybody's very excited by this. I would say try to calm the excitement down, do things that are practical, reducing risk, not introducing risk. Certainly, we in Autodesk are investing very heavily in aspects of artificial intelligence, machine learning, generative design, a platform strategy. So we're going to look for a longer term benefit, provide a stable platform for both our solutions and partner and even competitor solutions to integrate with, so that the client data and your project data is there now, in the medium term, and ideally, of course, in the longer term. One of the things we don't really know is the potential of the data that we're creating today, because everybody's creating lots of data. At home, we're all taking photographs, people are reading blogs and posting on blogs. Social media, everyone's on social media, whether they like it or not. But we haven't necessarily tapped into the value that some of that data might bring to our industry space. So to suggest that the answers are already out there, I would say is far from the truth. We're taking sort of very much the very baby steps in understanding what can be done. And hopefully, as we all become a little bit more comfortable with using these tools, creating good structured data, so no more lines and arcs and CAD type stuff, then we can start to improve what we can create and what we might glean from that. One other thing I will say is we're at the ACEC event here. It's awash with engineering companies and engineering practitioners. We really need to start looking at the value of the data in the asset operations phase, because we tend to get excited by the capital phase where we build stuff and design stuff and plan stuff. But actually, if we create very good data during those phases, then the untapped potential is in operations. As I mentioned, we're all taxpayers. What we don't want is to see potholes on our roads. Well, maybe some way of measuring, using digital solutions, the creation of faults, but also how might we be able to tackle them in a more early intervention way. New materials, there's loads of other stuff going on as well. But I think we haven't really identified what can digital data offer us to improve the management of the built assets that we are here designing and constructing.